When we think about the best campaigns in COD, we think about COD 4, World at War, Black Ops 1, the 2009 Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and that's it. The only games that ever got so close to joining that group, in my opinion, were Infinite Warfare in 2016, but its unpopularity due to its jetpacks weighted down to the mid category, MW 2019, which was a step in the right direction but not quite reaching there due to the much more linear experience compared to the greats, and debatably Cold War, which was a soft reboot of the Black Ops experience with even character choices being brought back from Black Ops 2, but with a lackluster roster of characters and a mere story eventually bringing it down to a once again not great campaign. That is about 9 years of not so good campaigns to feature in a Call of Duty game, and many fans thought that it was going to be like that for the rest of eternity. But I believe that it's about time that someone new would be in that group of GOAT, COD campaigns. Characters have always been at the forefront of Call of Duty campaigns, and this game makes no exception. From the members of Task Force 141, Gaz, Soap, Captain Price, and Ghost, to the villainous members of any COD story, General Shepard, Hassan,
Hassan Piker, I'm coming to kill you!
Elsie Sombre, and Philip Graves.
That's what I'm talking about, Shadows! You know I love that shit!
All these characters share an important role in the COD story, and that's to fight in a war. I'm not really going to go through all of these characters, as first that take too long, as they're literally too many to account for, and two, that's fucking boring. Instead, we will move to the importance of all these characters combined. Task Force 141, which is comprised of these stooges and a few extras, is one of the most entertaining groups when together, and that's in a lot of ways. Whether that's in combat...
Come on, Aaron, let's talk about it.
You think this is a fucking game out here? You wanna play war? Let's play some fucking war, Chicos.
Go fuck yourself, Graves.
in the banter which they share.
Let's go together. Two's better than one, right, sir?
Negative. You need cover and I'm the better shot, Sergeant.
Oh, come on now.
Or just both.
Trash bin on your right. Time to take out the trash.
Fucking hell.
All of them are unique, and you can tell that each one has their own role to play in this war. With that said, Ghost is the one that stands out the most. And that's pretty fucking obvious. There isn't any moment where he isn't in character.
Yes, sir.
He won't just come out and be emotional and stupid, he's just him. Unlike 2009's Ghost, we get to know a few more things about him through his interactions with the numerous characters in the campaign.
With your mask, you will fit in well if you go.
Shoot him.
No, got something else in mind.
Fucking beautiful, sir.
Not that he reveals very personal things like what's his favourite way of cooking his steak, or if Breaking Bad was a better show than Better Call Saul. He just has more personality and charisma to him. The game overall does a really neat job at giving us more of an idea of what goes on in his head. This can be very well seen in the mission alone, where Ghost shares banter with Soap and also gives you his line of thinking whilst you are sneaking through the streets of Mexico.
If he barks, shoot him and repo quickly. Don't get compromised.
You are stone cold, Simon.
Wires 2 legs and bleeds.
Don't tell me. Dead shadows are my medals.
You said you wanted a win. Congratulations, you're a winner.
Why Beal your head?
English McTavish.
Sorry, sir. Let me translate. Go fuck yourself.
Much better.
I mean, that doesn't take away from the 2009 Ghost. His death still pains my heart to this day.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
This campaign really brought out the best of Ghost with many great moments to show for it, which for me makes him one of the greatest characters in COD history. And believe me, there are only a few characters that really make that list. The story of this game is quite compelling, and from beginning to end you are constantly wondering what might happen next. And that's even if you've played the original Modern Warfare 2, which you would think if you've played that, maybe you would know when and where things may occur, but you're wrong.
Sorry, Diego. You had to go like that.
Alejandro?
Now, I may spoil a bit of the story, and this is somewhat a review of the game, so here's your only warning for story spoilers. The story begins in Al Mazrah, where you first meet Ghost, General Shepard, and Laswell. Ghost is taking point to form an undercover mercenary team by the name of Shadow Co. You take control of Ghost and you mark the primary target, General Golbani. He doesn't really hold much importance, he just happens to be important for the moment. You launch some missile headed on its way to him and destroy him and everything around him.
Fucking hell. Direct. Target destroyed.
From the next mission, you chase this guy for about an hour and a half of playtime until you catch him and realize it doesn't serve you all that much purpose, and you move on to the next target, El Sin Nombre.
El Sin Nombre, the nameless, the leader of the Las Almas cartel.
Where can we find him?
You can't. No one knows who he is.
2 or more hours of game time and you catch up to the individual in question, who is this lady. Interrogating her for a few minutes and you find out that she used to be part of the Mexican Special Forces, which is an organization who helped you early in the story and eventually joined you in the task at hand. The task force is comprised of a few individuals, but the most important ones are Alejandro and Rodolfo. These two are surprisingly a great duo and felt familiar to duos we have seen in the past. The relationship feels natural, and when we mix them with the likes of Soap and Ghost, you can get some very fun interactions.
You know Spanish? No. You will.
By the way, this little subplot point honestly paid off for me because Soap and Ghost eventually do learn to speak Spanish, or at least some. Not sure when they had time to learn it, but it was rewarding to hear him say "of course" in Spanish.
Ghost! No te pierdas, carnal! ¡A huevo!
Back to our friend El Sin Nombre, or as she's known by her actual name, Valeria. Alejandro has this one-on-one argument with her. We get this very well done monologue from her.
¡Puedes sacar la puta cabeza del culo por un segundo! ¡Puta madre, Alejandro! As long as there is a war on terror, there will be no real war on drugs.
And then we make a deal with the devil, essentially.
Dwight. He's the devil.
She gives us intel that the missiles are harbored in this oil rig near Mexico, and we make our way there. This mission, Darkwater, is undoubtedly one of the best missions in the game, and trust me, there aren't a lot of missions which are shit in this game. You rappel to the oil rig, kill a few fools, find out the missiles aren't on the rig but rather on this boat, which seems very familiar. You go on that boat to kill more people as you try to avoid these big containers from turning into Swiss cheese. Get to the controls and you find out that it's too late to stop the missiles from being launched.
Fuck. We can't disarm it.
Why?
It's too late.
There's no abort code?
Instead, you have to detonate them.
Stations, prepare for the boom.
We saw on the way.
Moving on, you go back to the Mexican Special Forces base and Graves pulls a Shepard.
So let's not do this.
Oh no.
I'm calling Shepard.
General Shepard sends his regards.
Ghost having flashbacks from this alternate reality, he goes full commando and survives. Soap gets shot in the shoulder but lives, and Alejandro gets captured. The next mission has already been mentioned previously, so I won't go over it in too much detail. All you need to know is that it is very similar to that mission in Cold War, where you have no weapons and you have to sneak by. The two differences between these two missions is that one, you get this crafting ability where you find materials and craft smoke bombs, strip mines, mollies, all of that type of shit. And two, your partner doesn't have this stupid fucking line to say.
You're the expert in quiet. I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. You should know that.
It actually isn't that bad. It was very enjoyable to go through the streets of Mexico and killing these fucking rats in the various creative ways you choose. It is also a good time to speak to Ghost and builds more of his character, as I mentioned before.
Why? We're fixing each other's problems.
What's my problem?
The mask. Take it off.
Show my face.
Yes, sir.
Negative.
Are you ugly?
Quite the opposite.
I doubt that.
You finish this mission by driving away from this town and you head to Alejandro's secret safe house where Rodolfo managed to escape to. He shows you the minuscule stash of weapons he's got and you'll decide to head to the prison to break out our friend Alejandro. The first half of the mission, you guide Ghost to the prison with the use of the CCTV cameras. It's a cool segment as you get to control which way Ghost can go and how he kills his enemies. The second half is the actual prison break itself, as you break out the remaining people from the Mexican Special Forces, which gives off the vibe from the mission Volcura in Black Ops 1. Again, a very well paced mission, and it is cool to see Captain Price and Gaz again as they assist you at the borders of the prison. You finish the mission and Captain Price has a small talk with General Shepard.
He's a dog with a bone, and I highly recommend you don't try and take it.
This is your last chance to change your mind.
Then what?
Then after I go for him, I'm coming for you.
I was genuinely expecting for us to go after Shepard like in 2009's Modern Warfare 2, but seeing as there is going to be a Modern Warfare 3 by this obvious nod at the end of the game, which I won't show now, I guess it's better off for the next title. The whole group comes together and we get the best cutscene from this game.
You're getting up, prisoner. We are killing Commander Graves. When? Now. This is a fight against our own. We are not 1-4-1 and lost for Keros on this. We're a team. Ghost team. Good to see you again, Salman.
This cutscene gave me fucking chills. I was expecting to see his face, but it's honestly better that they kept it a mystery. And for some other reason, people think that we will somehow get a Ghost reboot, which, not the worst idea. And personally, I don't think it's the worst COD as most people made it out to be back then, but I can see where the urge to have another Ghost game came from. Anyways, in the mission Ghost Team, which follows after that cutscene, you head to the base which Graves took, and the objective is to kill everyone in there and rescue Valeria, who's still in said base. You're split into teams, and during the mission you switch between Soap and Gaz as they are obviously split. This mission gave me a very big feeling of satisfaction as you kill all these mercenaries commando style, and also shut this prick down when he brings a tank to a gunfight.
Brought a gun to a tank fight. Yeah, we did.
Following on from that mission, you speak to Valeria. She gives you more info on where Hassan is, and that he holds the last missile in Chicago, and that's where you headed to next. The next mission, Countdown, isn't really the best mission. The cinematics and visuals of this mission are incredible, but the set pieces in the mission are quite dull if I'm gonna be honest. The good things in this mission are that Soap and Price are, I guess, reunited and are going through the building together, which is a new thing to this game, but a familiar sight from the original Modern Warfare games. You find Hassan, take the controls, Laswell directs you on how to stop the missiles whilst you are hiding from a fucking heavily armoured cunt, all without a weapon. That cool crafting system, which they had from the mission alone, returns briefly in this segment, and I guess it's okay, but I don't know, it wasn't as satisfying as before. You kill everyone whilst hiding, and this guy just attacks you in a scripted moment. You switch control from Soap to Ghost, and he deals the final blow, which could be symbolic, but I certainly didn't feel anything from that moment. As an ending to the game, it wasn't amazing, and is probably the only thing that would weigh it down throughout the whole experience. The final cutscene, you find out that Makarov is returning from the last title.
Hotel Bravo. You know where it is. I'll see you there. Looking forward to it. Give my regards to Zakhaev if you get there first.
We also get this post-credit scene, which I talked about before. I'm surprised that they had some balls to bring this back, and I commend them for it because I wasn't entirely expecting it. I think the reason why there wouldn't be as much controversy this time around, unlike last time, is that you don't partake in it and it's just a cutscene. Those last two cutscenes sort of saved the game's ending and hyped me up for the third title in the series, whenever that's coming out. Overall, the story and its missions are very good, with only a few story moments and missions feeling either out of place or didn't deliver on that correct note. With 17 story missions in the campaign and around 7 hours of total playtime, it is one of the longest story modes from recent years, with an adequate level of pacing where you don't feel like one mission is longer than the last. The story itself is one of the better ones that I've played and is a true successor to MW 2019. It houses a different type of storytelling from the last title, with MW 2019 having a more realistic approach to war and focusing on the tactical side of our character, whereas this title focuses on the characters that we play as and meet along the journey. It builds upon its characters, like I mentioned with Ghost, and gives a far better emotional bond for when certain things occur in the story.
Royce! We're going down!
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is not only a successor to Modern Warfare 2019, but also exceeds the original Modern Warfare 2 from 2009, with the only thing being better in that title is the original soundtrack. This campaign holds a deeper level of character development when compared to the most recent titles in the series, as well as the legends which came before it. As far as world building goes, the environments, tone and stakes at hand are well balanced all around, without a single place feeling out of place, creating a very seamless transition from mission to mission. In terms of ranking this title amongst the legends, it would have to sit around the top 5 margin, close to top 3, but that comes down to preference. On the other hand, as a general ranking for the campaign, it gets a
It's all good, man.
9 out of 10. With the pristine game engine, best character roster in a while, and an incredible story, it deserves this rating and more. Thank you so much for watching this review style video, first of its kind and certainly different to what I've done before. I also want to thank you, the viewers, who have helped us reach 200 plus subscribers and 10,000 views on that Spider-Man video. I know there was a mixed bag of opinions in the comments, and I expected it since it was sort of a satire look at the game, and there's nothing less that I would have wanted from that video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Ghost is the GOAT if you reach this point in the video. With that said, thank you once again, and I will see you very soon for another video. Goodbye.